Alright, welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 926. It will be a Thursday night at the movies. Today's quiz was sent in by longtime viewer named Jeannie. You guys are familiar with Jeannie's work. She sent in the By George trivia a couple of weeks ago that was real popular. Today, a little something different. The category is Ladykillers. And this is Ladies in Cinema and Movies Who Kill. Good luck. Question 1. A scarred stuntman named Mike, played by Kurt Russell, chooses the wrong 3 women to terrorize in his reinforced 1969 Dodge Charger. They end up causing him to wreck and then dragging him from the wreckage to finish him off in what 2007 Quentin Tarantino movie? That movie was called Death Proof. Question number 2. A happy housewife played by Kathleen Turner has a successful husband and 2 normal teenagers. But one of her son's teachers speaks poorly of the boy at a PTA meeting, and she becomes enraged and runs over the teacher in the parking lot. Then discovers she has a taste for murder in what 1994 movie? The answer is Serial Mom. Question number 3. In 1958, 2 camp counselors sneak out to party and are murdered. Then in 1979, a new group of counselors, one of them played by Kevin Bacon, prepare to reopen the camp. In what 1980 movie do we find out the murderer is just a crazy mother wanting revenge? That movie was Friday the 13th. Question number 4. In Wes Craven's directorial debut, 2 girls are drugged, assaulted, and killed in the woods, and for some reason, the attackers end up seeking refuge in a home nearby, not knowing it's the family of one of the girls. The parents discover they killed the girls, and they exact revenge in what 1972 movie? That movie is Last House on the Left. Question number 5. An indie rock band takes a high school cheerleader, played by Megan Fox, into the woods to sacrifice her to Satan in exchange for fame and fortune. Instead, a succubus takes possession of her, and she spends the rest of what 2009 movie seducing and killing male classmates? That movie was called Jennifer's Body. Question number 6. Michael Douglas plays a married man who has a torrid weekend affair with a woman, played by Glenn Close, who then becomes obsessed with him. She stalks him and even breaks into his home and kills the family pet rabbit. His wife ends up shooting her to save her husband in what 1987 thriller? The answer is Fatal Attraction. Question number 7. Charlize Theron won the Academy Award for Best Actress for what 2003 movie about the true story serial killer prostitute named Eileen Warno, who murdered 7 men before being executed in Florida in 2002? Eileen Warno was the lady killer in the movie Monster. Question number 8. An American criminal couple traveled the country robbing banks and killing cops during the Great Depression and captured the imagination and sympathy of the American public. What Warren Beatty Faye Dunaway movie ends by the title characters being ambushed and shot by a posse of lawmen? That movie was called Bonnie and Clyde. Question number 9. An unpopular nerd buys a 1958 Plymouth Fury and gives it a female name. He and the car develop an unhealthy obsession with each other, and finally the car seeks revenge on a bully who harmed them both in what 1983 film based on a Stephen King novel? The answer is Christine. Question number 10. This 2002 musical tells the story of two notorious female killers, Roxy and Velma, in the 1920s. They were played by Catherine Zeta-Jones and Renee Zellweger and were represented by the slickest lawyer in the city, Billy Flynn, played by Richard Gere, in what 2002 movie musical? That musical was called Chicago. Question number 11. A mysterious, beautiful crime novelist, played by Sharon Stone, becomes a suspect in the death of a rock star. She then famously seduces the homicide detective, played by Michael Douglas, in one of the most iconic interrogation scenes in movie history. What was the title of this 1992 film? That movie was Basic Instinct. Question number 12. A meek housewife joined her best friend on a fishing trip, but they became fugitives after a man tried to assault her, and her friend shot and killed him. While on the run, they pick up an attractive hitchhiker, played by Brad Pitt in one of his first roles. What 1991 movie ends with their classic car's tragic ride? That movie was Thelma and Louise. Question 13. A former assassin wakes up from a coma 4 years after her ex-lover attempted to murder her on her wedding day. She vows to get revenge for the loss of her unborn child in what 2003 martial arts film directed by Quentin Tarantino? That movie was Kill Bill Volume 1. Question 14. Down in the balmy climate of the Everglades, a shyster attorney is seduced by a beautiful woman, played by Kathleen Turner, who convinces him to murder her husband in a scheme to inherit all of his money. In what 1981 movie does she then double-cross the attorney and he ends up in prison? That movie was called Body Heat. Question 15. This 1998 film was all about deceit, sex, and greed. Two high school girls, played by Neve Campbell and Denise Richards, accuse their guidance counselor of assault, so he hires a sleazy attorney, played by Bill Murray, to defend him in what movie? That movie was Wild Things. Question 16. After a serious car crash, a novelist is rescued by a former nurse who claims to be his biggest fan, but her obsession with him takes a dark turn when she discovers he plans to kill off her favorite character. What 1990 movie starred Kathy Bates and James Caan? That movie was Misery. Question 17. Mickey and Mallory, played by Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis, became tabloid stars for killing 52 people. These murders are glorified by a true crime program called American Maniacs in what 1994 crime film written by Quentin Tarantino and directed by Oliver Stone? That movie was called Natural Born Killers. Question 18. Clint Eastwood plays a wounded Union soldier who finds refuge in an isolated girls' school in the South. He seduces and manipulates the young girls and the headmistress, who soon figures out his scheme. They then feed him poisonous mushrooms to keep him from leaving in what 1971 movie? The answer is The Beguiled. Question 19. A deputy prosecuting attorney is assigned to investigate the murder of a colleague, and it is discovered that he had an affair with the victim and had been set up as the killer. What 1990 movie features the classic line, "There was a crime, there was a victim, and there is punishment"? That movie was called Presumed Innocent. Question number 20. This 1976 movie starred Sissy Spacek as a withdrawn teen who endures cruel taunting at school and abuse from her mother at home. Finally reaching her breaking point at her prom, things get very bloody in what 1976 movie based on a Stephen King novel? That movie was called Carrie. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. Thank you again to Jeannie for submitting this entire trivia quiz. It's been sitting in my inbox for a while, and after our spooky themed trivia yesterday with the horror fiction, I figured we'd kind of continue the theme and do spooky movies today with the Ladykillers. So it worked out perfectly. Thank you, Jeannie, for writing this. Thank you, everyone else, for watching this. And I promise tomorrow's Friday night pub quiz will go back to the lighthearted fun that we're used to having here on Road TRIpVIA. No murder, stabby, or lady killing questions tomorrow. Here is question 21, the tiebreaker for Lady Killer trivia, to wrap us up today. In the 1969 version of the movie, Rooster Cogburn kills Tom Chaney. But in the 2010 version of what film does young Maddie Ross avenge the murder of her father by shooting and killing the hired hand that did it? In the 1969 version, Rooster Cogburn kills him. In the 2010 version, Maddie Ross kills him. That movie is called True Grit. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. Check back tomorrow for another new trivia quiz, and have a wonderful weekend.